Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of OPM chart breakdown. In the previous episode, what we actually done, we looked at XAUSD, and off that, I literally made £250, like in like the space of like 5 6 minutes. It was actually quite a good trade, to be honest. Wonderful trade, but that's just the beauty of trading. Do you understand? Like that's the beauty of actually looking at the market and actually understanding what the market is saying, so you can actually profit off the chart. That is the aim, to make some money. Like if you're looking at the chart and you're not looking to make money, then why are you looking at the chart in the first place? Do you know what I mean? So every time you attack the chart, you're literally attacking it to make a profit, and that should always be in the back of your mind. Like you're not trying to go into the chart to lose, although that does happen sometimes, and there's ways to averse your risk so that you're not putting everything on the line. You should be going on the charts just to find opportunities to make some money. But without further ado, today what we're actually going to be doing, we're going to look at BTCUSD. That's actually what we're going to look at. I'm just preparing the chart so that you guys can actually see it. All right, so here's the chart on BTCUSD, and this video is going to be a pre-analyzed chart. Because I have done this breakdown previously. I've done it on my live streams that I do on Twitch and whatnot. Um, so we're actually just going to be going through what I discussed and where you can actually enter some trades, because there's still some opportunities to catch on BTC USD in terms of catching trades. So this time we're actually going to be starting on the monthly time frame. Not the monthly time frame, sorry. We're going to be starting on the weekly time frame because it is a pre-analyzed chart. So as we've seen, BTC over the last couple of years, or even months to be honest, if you look at 2023, over the last 2 years, is risen from about, also let's even go to December 2022. From December 2022 to right about now, BTC has literally risen from £16,000 and $16,000 per coin to $124,000 per coin. If you can't tell already, there's a theme in the market right now, and the theme is that everything is currently bullish. Everything is on a bullish agenda. Everything is moving to the upside. So when you are trading the chart, you should be looking, like your overall bias should be bias. However, you can catch short-term retracements, and that's what I like to do most of the time. I like to catch short-term retracements because then I can be quickly in and out of the chart. I do not like to stay in trades for an extended period of time, just because of how it plays with my mind. I don't really like being in that situation or scenario for too long. I just want to make a certain amount and then come out of the market. I don't want to be in a trade for over, let's say, a couple of hours. I don't want it to go past a couple of hours and then going into a day when I'm holding a trade. No, I just want to be in for maybe an hour or two, a couple of minutes, and then just make my money and then exit. I think that's the best way to actually approach the chart, because you have a set objective and you're just looking to achieve that objective before you actually move away. So if we look at BTUSD, we can see that this is a weekly demand zone, and we also have a fair value gap or imbalance or inefficiency, whatever you want to call it, on the weekly time frame as well. And that will be our final TP, as you can see right here. Also, if we dive deeper, so also we have the AF here, which is at 124k. With assets such as BTC, XAU, and stuff like that, what you want to actually do is always mark out the all-time high, because it's all right now in the current season that BTC and XAU are in. They're constantly making new all-time highs, and those are very significant levels where price will actually react from. So if we go down into the daily time frame, we can see that there is, and we're going to see this in a lot clearer picture sooner or later, sorry. We're going to see in a lot clearer picture, but as we can see right now, we can see that there's a buildup of internal liquidity on BTC USD. This internal liquidity, I'm looking for this internal liquidity to get breached. Once it gets breached and liquidated, then we can see price move up from about this area all the way up to form a new AF. Obviously, it is a long way down, and I don't think BTC USD is actually going to do the full drop anytime soon, but it will happen over the course of a couple of months, or it will happen over the course of a couple of weeks, depending on the aggressiveness of what is happening in the world right now. So we're just going to quickly dive into the 4 hour time frame. And what we can see here is some relative equal highs. I'm just going to highlight that for you guys so you guys can actually see it. Relative equal high. Yeah, so here we have some relative equal highs that price has actually breached. What happens after price breaches a level of liquidity? Price usually moves in the other direction very aggressively. But what I'm actually going to mark out as well is this level up here, which I didn't mark out before. I wanted to wait to do this video so I can mark it out. So there's two levels where we can actually look to sell BTC from. So the level that is currently at right now, we can sell it from there, or we can wait for price to actually move higher to this imbalance on the 4 hour around 122k, and then once it actually hits there, then we can, if we see a good reaction off that price level, then we can know that BTC is trying to move to the downside. So all these levels that I have marked out here are potential levels for a take profit. So the first level we have here is at 108k, and then the second level we have is at 107k. What I will also highlight is this fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame, as that can also be a level where price may not take all the liquidity here, but it might just move to this level here, react off it, and then continue to the upside. Moving into the 1 hour time frame, we can see how price is currently reacting at this current price level. In order for me to take a trade here, what I would actually have to see is a break of structure from this level here. So I would want to see price actually move like this. There we go. So I would want to see price move downwards here, then a retracement upwards, then continue the trend to the downside. So that's actually what I would like to see in a scenario where I sell from here. In a scenario where I do not sell from here and I sell from the level above, price will move up, maybe retrace a little bit, then move up into the zone, then we see a clear rejection, and then price moves all the way to the downside. So these are the two scenarios I currently see for BTC USD as where it currently is right now and what may happen in the close future. So if you are looking to take a trade on BTC USD based off this analysis, just look at the zones that I've marked out at the moment and look at how price is reacting around this level. What you want to actually see is if you drop down into the 15-minute time frame, what we're seeing right now is actually quite is good, to be honest. It lets us know that price may not move all the way to the upside and actually continue to the downside. So we have some internal liquidity here, and then we have a point of external liquidity on the 15-minute time frame right here. Price has failed to continue and break this external liquidity point, so we know that it was maybe just trying to reach into the zone for some internal liquidity before continuing to the downside. Moving into the 5 minute time frame, we can see that price is actually distributing on the 5 minute time frame. And I'm just going to highlight that distribution right here. If you watch my last video breakdown, I went into a bit more depth on what an distribution is and how to identify it. So if you just watch my last breakdown, then you can have an idea of how to identify a distribution. So based off what I'm seeing here, I think gold may continue down from this point onwards, and if not, is going to move up to that zone that we highlighted and is going to move down from there. So you can actually enter a short position, and then remember our take profit levels. The first take profit level that we're going to be looking at in this scenario anyway, I'm going to the 1 hour time frame. We're going to be looking at here, and that's around 108k. Obviously you can take your profits a lot earlier than that. We have this imbalance right here that price may react off and then continue to the upside. And we also, if you're looking for a shorter trade, then what you can actually do is see this level right here. That's known, this is all internal liquidity right now, all internal liquidity. I do think price is going to do a full screen to the downside and actually take all this internal liquidity before continuing up. But remember, this is not something that is happening right this second. This is just an outlook of what may happen in the future, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks and whatnot with BTC USD. I do hope you guys have actually enjoyed this mini breakdown that I've just done on BTC USD. And then stay tuned for the next episode or the next breakdown that I do. I'm gonna try cover things. I'm gonna try cover things that new traders might not understand in terms of what is a distribution, what is an accumulation, what is liquidity, how to identify internal liquidity, external liquidity, and all these things that may happen on the chart. I'm gonna do video series so that you guys can actually understand what these things are, and then we can go from there. But yes, it's been OPM, and enjoy the rest of your evening or whatever time you're actually watching this from. But yeah, thank you guys.